Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for December 18th of 2024 is titled NGC 660 Polar Ring Galaxy. So what do we see here? Well, here looks like an unusual galaxy. And of course, we're looking at the large galaxy here. But if you look around the image, there are also many other galaxies off in the distance beyond this galaxy. So in any portion of the sky that we look at, there are a great number of galaxies. Now, the one we're looking at here is known by its catalog designation of NGC 660. And it is about a galaxy about 50,000 light years across. And that makes it about half the size of our own Milky Way. Now, what this is what's called a polar ring galaxy. And in this case, we can see the two rings there, one running almost vertically from top to bottom. And you can see the dust lanes there, as well as the bright stars that make up the disk of that ring galaxy. And the other one running a little diagonally from upper left down to lower right. And again, we can see the dark dust lanes. So those two rings are crossing here. Now, one thought of this is that this is actually two galaxies colliding. So we're seeing the plane of each of those two galaxies separate, and they don't collide necessarily, so that their planes would line up so that the disks of the galaxies would be exactly the same. And that could give us an image something like we see today, with one of them tilted relative to the other. Now, as a collision continues, eventually the two galaxies could merge into one single galaxy. And if we could come back and look at this in a billion years or so, we might really not even be able to notice that there were ever multiple galaxies here. And that has happened, we believe, to most of the galaxies that we see, including our own Milky Way, that over time they build up through collisions and gathering material, either cannibalizing smaller galaxies around them or merging with larger galaxies. And we do know that our own Milky Way is actually on a collision course with the Andromeda galaxy, so that billions of years from now, those two galaxies will collide. And perhaps some distant astronomer looking back towards our galaxy would see something like the image we see today as our two galaxies collide together. Of course, we don't know exactly what the collision will be like, but we do know that eventually our two galaxies will merge and eventually form one much larger galaxy. So many of the unusual shapes we see with galaxies, such as the polar ring galaxy we look at today, seem to be associated with collisions between various galaxies. So that was our picture of the day for December 18th of 2024. It was titled NGC 660 Polar Ring Galaxy. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.